It has reached me, O fortunate king, that when the king regained his health, he began to observe the affairs of his people himself. At times, he would disguise himself at night so he could learn the truth of matters rather than rely solely on his ministers. One night, he went out dressed as a simple merchant, accompanied by his vizier. They walked through the streets until they came to a poor quarter, where they heard the sound of a woman weeping and a child crying in pain. The king stopped and said, "My vizier, what is this sound that pierces the heart?" The vizier replied, "It may be one of the many sorrows of poverty, my lord." So the king approached and knocked on the door. A weary-looking woman opened it. He said to her, "O servant of God, what troubles you?" She answered, "My husband has been imprisoned for months without cause. I have nothing left, and my child has not eaten for 2 days." The king's heart trembled, and he said to himself, "After all the justice I have tried to bring, is there still Volm in my kingdom?" He gave her what money he had and promised to return with news of her husband. When he returned to the palace, he ordered an investigation. It was discovered that the man had been imprisoned due to a false accusation made by a merchant who coveted his wealth. The king grew furious and ordered the man's immediate release, the punishment of the wrongdoer, and the return of the stolen wealth. The next day, the king returned to the woman's house, but this time in a grand procession. When she saw him, she realized he was the king and fell to the ground in astonishment. The king said to her, "Raise your head, for I am but a servant of my people." Then he gathered the townsfolk and told them what had happened, saying, "A king is not truly a king until he hears the cry of the weak before the voice of the powerful." His fame spread across the land, and the people loved him even more. But that very night, while the king sat in his court, a messenger rushed in and said, "My lord, a strange man has appeared at the edges of the kingdom. He claims wisdom, gathers followers, and speaks words that may stir unrest." The king looked at his vizier and said, "It seems our story is not yet over."